welcome back to The Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky, We have Ren as a party member now! So yeah, last time we got Ren from the final Sealing Stone, and she is completely ridiculous. It's like the equivalent of pulling like I was about to say like a 5-star in a gacha game, but no, we pulled like a 10-star with Ren. And this time I'm going to be progressing further into the Labyrinth of Shadows and Light. Bye-bye, Devil. We might be seeing your kind in the future, and when we do, you should be terrified, because, no matter how strong you are as a devil, we have the Angel of Slaughter on our side. That is actually Ren's title, and it is very apt. So we're in what's called the Luminous Labyrinth 2. Some people count it as a different area to Luminous Labyrinth 1, but I personally treat them as, like, basically just two parts of the same area. So, before we move on, I want to show something here. I'm still using Annalise, and that's because I said earlier that the Jinnu begins getting outclassed in mid-Chapter 6. We are at the end of Chapter 5, so we are slowly approaching the point where Annalise becomes a lot less broken, and I want to give her as much time to shine while she's still broken as possible. In terms of her orbment, I've actually swapped out what was previously here for Absorb, because Ren wasn't using it, and speaking of things Ren isn't using, I've given Death to Reese, and actually spec'd Reese as more of a physical attacker now, because, you know, who needs another arts caster when we have Ren? I have changed Ren a little bit. I've given her Septium Vein instead of Sapphire Gem, because this means that she has, Dark Matter EX, also Lost Mobius, but I don't actually remember Lost Mobius being all that good. Let me just quickly look up the thing. Okay, yeah, Lost Mobius's power is pretty bad for its cast time. Wait a minute, what thing? I can finally talk about something that I've been wanting to mention for a while. A lot of people in the comments have been asking, how did you know about all of those, like all the power levels of the different arts and crafts? Well, there is a Google Sheet that lists the delay, power, cast time, all of that for all of the arts and crafts in the game. The reason why I didn't draw attention to it until now is because it has, like I said, all the crafts in the game, which means that, well, it would have spoiled Ren and Richard. So, I specifically avoided talking about it until now, but now that I do have all the party members, I can now, safely, link to it in the description or in a pinned comment. I'll probably do both, and, now let's just use Lost Mobius anyway. I thought Lost Mobius was a full AoE. It looks like it's a full AoE from its animation, but no, it isn't even that. Yeah, it's kind of bad. It doesn't cost as much as Dark Matter EX, and its animation's kind of cool, but, you know, when you're Ren, who needs stronger arts? We're going to be seeing Ren finishing a lot of fights. Now we have this chest, Celestial Ball. We are both empty. Oh, that actually just makes me think of, certain character from Critical Role, but yeah, so I'll be linking that. I think that's a very good resource. I've heard recently that the Kiseki Wiki got updated with that information. The Kiseki Wiki was previously pretty bad, like as far, like I mean a lot of games have bad wikis, but the Kiseki Wiki was especially not great. Do I have detection? Yeah, I do, but no chests are showing up in this area. There must just not be any of them. There's only like 5 chests in Luminous Labyrinth 2 anyway. Could you please turn around? I don't have Petrify immunity, so I'm reliant on wiping you out before you do the same to me. Oh, Ren has a death turn. That is tempting. So yeah, we have Calamity Throw, Blood Circle 2. Yeah, Ren's crafts are actually kind of solid, but you don't really want to use them much, because her arts are just that good. And also, these things are very physically evasive, so arts aren't great on them anyway. But yeah, so apparently, like, with this information, the Kiseki Wiki should be able to, be, yeah, a little bit better about things. I haven't even used Abyss Fall yet. Abyss Fall... So I have a weird reason for not liking this art all that much, because its animation is very slow. And it also makes the sound really awkward if you speed it up. So, yeah, and even it's not hugely fantastic for its, like, cast time and EP cost. It looks kind of cool, but yeah, like I said, the animation is very, very slow. And again, I don't like it because, yeah, in terms of recording, can be good to have animations that are a little bit more convenient. So yeah, with those two... Wait a minute, I just went backwards. With those two topics out of the way, I guess I can talk a little bit more about just my thoughts on Ren. So yeah, when I was going on that big tangent about, oh, wait a minute, I can't talk about this tangent yet because this is a very important door.
Nanji, 報道と呼ばれしくせ者。怪物の打倒を誓いし盟友と共に我が元に引き連れよ。さすれば扉を開かん。
Okay, enjoy still having the voice patch on for this. I normally don't have it on for these sequences, but yeah. So this is Olivier and Mueller. You can do this door now. I highly recommend that you do, because the reward for this door is an amazing quartz that you really, really want. Here's the thing though. I am going to be going and doing this door off camera before we get to the boss of this area, because that reward is that good. However, I am not going to be showing that door just yet. The reason is, that door, I think, makes a little bit more sense if it's done a little bit later in the game. Because that door is the true prologue to Cold Steel. So, I felt that it would be best shown towards the end of this story, as a lead-in to what the next one might be like, because Cold Steel was originally intended to follow this game. They didn't plan on making the Crossbell games. I think that was more just testing the waters for the PSP, the PS Vita market. Wait, was it even on PS? I think it was actually just on PSP. But anyway, it was testing the waters for some market. Okay, I'm gonna do this to pull that devil backwards. Really, really want to pull that devil backwards, and we might even need to be using some Clock Up EXs here. And also Zodiac. Don't want to let my guard down against these devils, because off camera I actually fought one, and I had a really, really bad time. If I use that, it's going to get overwritten by Estelle's buff, which is unfortunate, so you'll just attack. The Crossbell games were also meant to be a bit of like a lead-in, because they felt like, okay, going straight to Erebonia would be a bit too much. We want to build up Erebonia, like the hype for Erebonia a bit more, so then they did the Crossbell games, which then didn't get localized. But it kind of explains why Cold Steel 1 is such a good starting point, and why it doesn't really reference a lot of previous arcs. Yeah, Estelle does less than 1,000, Annalise does over 2,000. That's the power of a slightly different strength stat. Okay, somebody's probably dying. Okay, Annalise barely survived. Good. And now you eat dark matter. It's still alive, somehow. Okay, then. There we go. There was a loud plane there. I don't know if it would have picked up. Holy crap, Reese gets Chain 3 late. Wow, that is a late Chain 3. That's probably a major drawback of her as a party member now that I think about it. Amberl bracelets. You're the sister here. Does thou shalt not steal ring any bells? I said shalt, not shall. But yeah, the Amberl bracelet, let's see what that is, because we have the Carnelia one. Prevents move and speed down. Preventing a speed down is pretty solid, actually. And I just realized there might be a reason why they gave that to us. Yeah, we're going to be fighting a boss at the end of this area that I think does have a speed debuff and a move debuff on it. I might be wrong about that, but considering what this upcoming boss is, I wouldn't be surprised if it had those kind of abilities. I do know that it can petrify you, so you do want to make sure you have protection against that. So yeah, Reese has Death, and I wanted to kind of stack Death with Thousand Sparrows, but didn't get it. At the moment, you're actually looking a little bit non-invincible, so let's go ahead and heal you. Who has... I think you've got some... Yeah, Tyrell. See, the good thing... I know that I keep saying this, but the good thing about healing arts in the Sky games is that their healing is always fixed regardless of your ATS stats, so it doesn't matter who uses them. They'll always heal the same amount, and because of that... There's a sneaky enemy behind that nightmare, I just realized. Because of that, yeah, like, you want to actually cast them with your physical attackers wherever possible. Okay, Estelle levels up, and she's overtaken the supposed actual main character. Oh yeah, I was going to talk about Ren a little bit. Actually, I just kind of thought of a different tangent, though. So... I am, like, in my thoughts on Trails in the Sky, the third video that I did after I played it for the first time, if you want to hear what my knee-jerk reactions to playing this game were for the first time, you might want to go ahead and listen to that. I promise that it hasn't aged as badly as my thoughts on Trails in the Sky FC has. Yeah, oh boy, yeah, that was like, oh, you can skip Sky FC, that won't really affect anything at all. Yeah. We all change our opinions over time. It's actually a big part of why you might notice that I often, like, describe things as, this is probably my favorite OST in any video game, or this is probably my favorite song in the game. I say that to leave room for my opinions changing over time. Because, yeah, I don't know if my opinions will stay the same on things like that. Okay, that's good, you were kind of overdue for a new weapon. 26 of 36. She sighed in a way that was half frustrated, half disappointed. She never cared about money. Why would he try to win an argument with it? She could say only quietly in her mind, my husband is an idiot. And so, the role of every married tsundere. That's like gotta be the catchphrase of tsunderes once they get married. But anyway... I was gonna, my mind drifted for a second. I was like, wait, what do I need to, oh, right, I know I was in the menu for a reason, and it was to equip this. Also, yeah, she has, over 2,000 arts defense, because I just wanted to do that with the Moonblasters Plus, because lol. I don't know if any of the enemies here are really using arts-based attacks, but I just thought that was kind of funny. But yeah, in that video, I said that I thought that Kevin and Reese, like, I actually liked them better as main characters than Estelle and Joshua, and I liked their relationship more. That is one opinion of mine that has changed over time. I definitely like Estelle, like, way more than I used to. Just like Sky FC. In general, my opinions on a lot of things in Sky FC were very slow burn. I didn't enjoy it that much when I played it for the first time, but as I played it more, I grew to like it a lot more. Again, that quote, I don't see that quote that often. 3,000 mirror? Empty. Someone must have taken the chess phrase that used to be in here. But wait, isn't that itself a chess phrase? Oh no, that's going to be a logical paradox and break the universe. And another thing about Estelle and Joshua, I didn't actually get a chance to say this, but this is another tangent that I wanted to go on while Estelle was a main character, but like, Estelle and Joshua is practically the most universally loved canon ship I have ever seen in any piece of media. If you look at fan art of the Trails games, you might see that for characters like, for example, Rean, you see Rean shipped with everyone in the kitchen sink. Like, there is fan art of just about every Rean ship you can think of, even ones that aren't possible in-game. You look at fan art of Estelle and Joshua, though. There is pretty much no fan art of those two ship with anyone but each other. At most, you might see the occasional 1-2 threesome with Chloe, but... one true threesome, I mean. But you almost never see Estelle and Joshua ship with anyone but each other. It is completely insane. It's part of why, like, people wish that Falcom would not write harem protagonists and actually go back to doing a single love interest for a main character, because there's just something about, and like, it's like, honestly, it also says something to the fact that not a lot of people are bothered by the whole adoptive siblings thing. But I mean, I guess the reason why I'm personally not bothered by it is that it's clear that they only, like they met before the Westermark effect would have kicked in. They never really truly considered each other like actual siblings, and their dynamic feels a lot more like childhood friends than siblings, even though, again, that usually doesn't happen in real life. More Seepeth. We interrupt this tangent to bring you a chess phrase. 5 of 12. Certainly, come on in. Hideko would listen to anything Sato had to say, but no one could know the horrible fate that awaited Hideko this day. I really want to someday read that whole story. It sounds kind of interesting. We are already at the end of this, though, but I'll just finish what I was saying, is that just the way that their relationship is just written, there's just something about it. It's hard to explain, but yep, this is the boss of this area. Now, there probably should be, considering that we haven't found the last thing. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a checkpoint. Yep, there we go. There's the checkpoint. Not checkpoint, but, you know, warp point. It's just amazing. It's just like, for a lot of, it's just the fact that so many, like, implied canon ships, not just in video games, but in all media, just get hated. Like, I could go on and on about those ships that get constantly hated on, but, you know, I'd just be a broken record. You all know what I'm thinking of. You all know those implied canon or actually canon ships that everyone just hates on. And it was like, oh no, I much prefer this thing. And then Estelle and Joshua don't get any of that. It's, like, even though you have Chloe, who is a very nice person and a very likable character, who has feelings for Joshua. And yet, still, there's no die for our ship at all. It's just insane. And with that, this has not gone on for very long at all. I think I can fit the boss into this. Probably. But that means that off camera, I'm gonna have to go and do I was about to call it by its actual name, but I'm gonna have to go and do the Olivier and Mueller door. So I'll be right back after I've... Go away, cursor. I'll be right back after I've done that. And for completing Star Door 8 for the first time, we get the Divine Eye and 7000 Mirror. I am so sorry for not being able to show that now. It's an incredibly good door, a lot of people's favorite, and it's probably one of my favorites too. But I think it makes more sense to be shown later on in the playthrough, so we're going to do that. But first, I want to show what the Divine Eye is, because this thing is insane. Scent, Eagle Eye, Information, Septium Vein, and Luck. And look at those elements that it's worth. Like, that, and you don't even need that plus much else to get you Zodiac. It's just, again, this is an insane quartz. I told you there are some very good quartz available in the third. And speaking of quartz, I've actually changed some of my quartz a little bit, but I'm going to be heading back to the base to regroup my party before I talk about that. We have teleported to Luminous End, which is kind of a cool area name. So, Reese have upgraded a couple of slots so that she could use a topaz gem that I made. I didn't have any of those, which is kind of weird because they're really nice for getting Earthwall on people easily. I did make a second one for Estelle, and then I upgraded one of her slots to accommodate that, and then I realized that removing Septium Vein actually gets rid of Zodiac, and I need that, so I think Estelle's setup is staying... Actually, wait a minute. Is it staying as it is? Because now that I have Divine Eye, I can probably afford to swap that out. Yeah, I can do that. Now I can get Earthwall and Zodiac, and not have to give up my EP Cut 4 for it. So again, like, yeah, Divine Eye is kind of insane. Like, this is probably, like, my pick. You need to make sure that you have haze on someone else to offset the scent, but other than that, it's, like, one of the best quartz in the game. And I am admittedly going for the most cliched party possible for this boss, but I really wanted to show off both Richard and Ren in the same party. So, as much as I'd like double Crimson Eyes on Ren, I'm actually putting Mirage Rings on as many people as possible because this boss can petrify you. And Richard, so this combo of Lunar Seal and Super Gladiator Headband could potentially give him, like let him spam his crafts forever, but again, I think I need the Petrify immunity. I just rather not take that risk. Also, I'm really annoyed that I can't get his strength over 2,000. I just barely can't afford another Ruby. Actually, wait a minute. No, I removed Ren's Ruby Gem, because I realized that I wanted to keep Dark Matter EX and also have the Sapphire Gem. So no, I was wrong. Richard can take that Ruby Gem and have over 2,000 strength. Nice. And in terms of tactics, Richard is right up the front. And most of my people, I've moved Ren a little bit further forward so she can potentially get in range of earth walls better. And that's pretty much all I have to say about all of that. I am going to put Olivier on support again, just because I like that ATS boost on Ren, and maybe even on other people too. I should mention this boss is weak to space, and that's why I wanted to keep space on Ren, and why I didn't need to go for Cyclone Napalm, because this is going to be doing more damage than those will. And so, let's go into the Luminous End, which actually does sound like... that could be a Richard S. Craft, now I think about it. Oh! Yeah, I'm going to turn off the voice patch for this, sorry about that, but I kind of like reading out the dialogue. Is that our exit out of this plane? Doesn't look like there's anything standing between us and it either. Time to make a mad dash for the... Wait. What's up? Yeah, still doesn't quite know how this process works yet. I can smell the distinctive scent of the underworld, and it grows stronger by the second. What? Are we gonna get surrounded by magic circles then? No, this isn't gonna come from a circle. It's coming from above! This devil is bigger and 8! Why is everything bigger and 8? Because this devil is a spider now. Spiders? Oh, how cute. They're trying so hard to be intimidating for us, aren't they? Yeah, no. Ren is more terrifying than any spider devil could ever be. Nice try. These are the 3 gluttonous Arachne sisters, kin of the 77 devils featured in the Testaments. They weave nightmares and consume the souls of those who wander into their labyrinth. So this is what real devils are like, huh? They sure look the part. But they're not going to be enough to stop us. Let's get nasty. Right. Estella's amazing as always. And they also have some small devils with them. Small spider devils. So we are facing off against Shadow Spiders, servant of the Arachne sisters, Arachne Evros, Arachne Graya, and Arachne Thalia. Anyway, this is a fight that it's very, very important to have information for, because you want to read their descriptions carefully. It says an evil sworn foes and lowers their stats. Calls for aid when hurt and screams on death. That's important to remember. Causes status with her cold stare. So, basically, defeat Evros last. That's why I want to not go too crazy with Ren's, I was about to say Cyclone Napalm. What is it? AoE, space, Dark Matter EX, that's what it is. But yeah, I don't want to go too crazy with that, because if I do, then I might end up killing Evros first, and you really don't want to do that. Also, as always, definitely buff your speed. Debuffs are kind of okay in this fight, but you don't actually want to rely on them too much, and you'll see why eventually. I don't know if I want to Earth Wall just yet, though. I think it's best that I get off my, my buffs on Richard and Ren as soon as possible. Should Richard... Nah, Richard's gonna go right into the fray. Let's go. Let's go True Luminous Ogre Spam. Oh, hey, I got Fate, too. Yep, there's Curse Eye. That would have been Petrify if I didn't resist that. You're going to cast, and you're going to use Swarm of Evil. Please tell me that doesn't cancel. Okay, yeah, it does. Yeah, as I thought, these things can debuff your speed. So, yet more Luminous Ogre Spam. Okay. Richard's not getting as much CP back as I thought he would be. He does have a plus 10 CP turn, though. Get Zodiac up. Yeah, the speed debuffs are incredibly unfortunate here. Yeah, I would really very much like to kill that thing, because the less of them there are, the less things there are to get rid of our Earth Walls and to just use up turns. And this isn't Shin Megami Tensei, but still, I want to avoid enemies getting a lot of turns, if at all possible. So, which one, should I go for the... Nah, we're immune to status, so I think I should go for the stat debuffing one first. Okay, now Richard is speed buffed. This is where things, well, I guess I can just outright say this is where the fun begins. Okay, somebody's gonna swipe that crit turn, and that somebody's probably gonna be Estelle. Unless I can get a Earth... Nope. Yeah, absolutely cannot get an Earth Wall in time. I kind of want to heal Estelle right now. Do I have any good food that cures poison? Not really. So I guess I can just use a Purging Balm. Okay, and now Ren can truly begin the slaughter. So let's go with Dark Matter EX, and again I want to aim it so that Everos is not in the area, because otherwise bad things can happen. Now, these things can just sort of rise themselves up and then go to another part of the field. Basically, yeah, they use their webs to sort of sling around everywhere like Spider-Man, kind of. Do I get rid of the little guy, or no? I think I'd rather target one of the sisters. And Wheel of Time is amazing as always. Swarm of Evil! I don't like that, because I think that's going to take away his speed buff, yeah. The way that buffs and debuffs interact in this game is a little weird. Oh yeah, her arts defense is so ridiculous that she doesn't even need to worry about that. Okay, one of the sisters should probably be going down to this Dark Matter EX, and that means we don't have to worry about those debuffs. Or do we? Okay, yep, so that is the debuffing sister down. Oh, great. Ren, take that. This is our first time seeing this, actually. I just really don't want this thing to cast on a 10% strength turn. So, the blood got changed to blue in that. So, like, again, I kind of feel like... It's weird. Richard is truly the ultimate edgelord of the party, because blood is okay for him, but it's not okay for Mueller, and it's not okay for Ren. He is the only one who's allowed to have blood in his attacks. But it's kind of weird that they changed that with Ren, because I know that, like, those slashes were all red in her, and, like, the splatters were red in her, boss appearance in SC. But, yeah, like, weird that they censored that, but they didn't censor Richard's. But yeah, that's basically Richard's, you know, standard, so that's a kit, but, yeah, I guess basically. That's just what Richard does. He does that. Okay, yeah, Estelle is not speed buffed. I guess I should put a speed buff on her. Oh, there's the... Why are you going for the one who doesn't take any damage? I mean, I won't question it, but still, it's really silly. And goodbye. Yeah, I have Strike on Richard, because I like Strike on Richard. Give him the extra chance of his attacks doing even more. I kind of want to reset that up just to make sure I have this going more. Yeah, the timer for buffs and debuffs in the Sky games is weird. It's kind of based on, like, how many action ticks go by, which means that the more speed you have, the slower your buffs wear off. So, yeah, more speed is good, because it means your buffs last longer, is what I was sort of trying to say earlier. Like, again, it's really weird. I don't know. It's got to do with delay, basically, and that's why everyone's buffs were wearing off much faster in the Shera door, because there everyone has really low speed, so yeah, they're all wearing off quickly. But once your speed gets to the extent that it is here, your buffs last a considerable length of time. So yeah, now I can safely go after Arachne Everos, but you really, really don't want to go after her first. And you'll see why shortly. I'm probably going to have to recharge you with Reese soon. Yep, let's go for a... Yeah, I'll do that rather than speed buff Estelle. Oh look, Richard has a 10% strength turn. Who needs S-Cross when Richard just does this? Okay, good. Estelle is buffed. And now we use the Dark Matter, and I forgot how low you were, but I don't know if this is going to... Oh, it's going to put you kind of close. Estelle is, looking a little hurt right now, though. I think she's going to go ahead and use... Oh, I do have a bunch of these that I probably should be using right now, because I think... Oh, no, actually, I can probably... Oh, these taper off quickly. I want to see what Queenly Cookie does. This may not be a kill, though. Okay, it was just enough. Because, yeah, 1,750 strength is not good for this point in the game. Oh, right, Richard's the one being targeted. You can kind of tell there by the ominous crimson circle around him. I really want to heal Estelle, but... I suppose I can get a heal off with Richard. Dark Matter. Yeah, that's fine. I don't care about that at all. You might think that this is a fight that A-Crest would be useful in to raise your arts defense. Trust me, it's not. I'll go into more detail on A-Crest later, but A-Crest is an absolutely hilariously awful art in this game. It's kind of silly just how terrible A-Crest is. It's really dumb. It has to do with buffs and debuffs working off of only your base stats, and the fact that everybody has a base arts defense of 15, so using A-Crest will basically raise your arts defense by, like nothing. But yes, once that Arachne sister is down, Evros, once she's down, screams on death and calls for help. She just called for Mummy. Arachne Sigma. This is the real boss fight. And this is why you want Earth Wall, because it can drain HP, and draining attacks are always an incredible pain, because, you know... Yeah, they basically... I'm gonna Holy Blessing Richard. Basically, yeah, you have to out-damage them. And honestly, at this point, out-damaging them is gonna be quite easy, but, you know, you want to make sure that you don't get stuck into a loop of the boss just constantly healing off your damage. So yeah, if Sigma gets summoned while the three sisters are already in play, you will get overwhelmed very easily. So I definitely recommend that you, I can have Richard run into that, I guess. I definitely recommend that you leave them for last. And yeah, she can drain a heck of a lot of health, which is again why you want Earth Wall. So now that everybody is nice and Earth Walled, we can basically put up regular Earth Guards on everyone once they lose it, because this thing isn't really that big on area attacks for the most part. Holy Blessing Richard, definitely do that. And the reason why I said earlier that like, while buffs are obviously very good in this fight, debuffs aren't, like, hugely important, it's because Sigma is immune to debuffs, while the three sisters aren't. So you can use Clock Down and other debuffs on them all you want, but they will not work on Arachne Sigma, so really all you can use to boost your power is just buffs here. And I think you're gonna go ahead and just cure, I have so many Purging Bulbs. Cure your poison, because the poison damage is actually racking up. Okay, nice crit there. Yeah, this is what I was saying they could do. They can kind of web sling around the place, to use Spider-Man terminology. And Richard's movement is a little lower than it should be because he has an Onyx Gem. But I still have move 3 on him. Inhale Vitality Seabally. Don't know why it's called Seabally though, but it's still something that you really don't want to have to deal with. Yeah, speaking of Earth things, let's Earth Guard Richard to put that back up. If you fought Morkies, like, and you remember how to fight those from Sky SC, this is very similar to that. You want to be topped up on guards constantly, because otherwise it will just drain way too much health for you to, like, recover back. Like, even with Richard and Ren, we'd kind of struggle to out-damage 12,000 healing, and on Nightmare it's even worse. Of course, this is the part where I actually find Nightmare, it's actually around mid-chapter 4 that I find Nightmare gets a lot more manageable, because you start getting access to better quartz, and then at this point, Nightmare gets way more manageable because you get Richard and Ren, and yeah, they're basically like your make Nightmare easy button. Okay, that is an area attack, but she should be down pretty soon, actually. In fact, Ren is going to finish this. And so we have squashed the Spiderses. I was hoping she'd do the rare win quote there. But yes, what did we all learn from that battle? Well, we learned that spiders are creepy, but being a spider is better than being dead. Oh, wow, okay. So True Wheel of Time is ridiculously good. I said before that Wheel of Time is good. True Wheel of Time is Wheel of Time, except it does more damage, and it heals you for 50% of the damage that it deals. Estelle's solos on Nightmare are incredibly viable with this S-Craft. That's how good it is. Emerald Gem's not a great drop. Why is everyone acting like that was a hard fight? We had Richard and Ren. It wasn't really that bad. What was up with that last one? That was so unfair. That must have been Zigma, the Three Sisters' mother. And even she was not able to stop us, thankfully. What? That looks like... a sealing stone? But it looks different to the others. Another sealing stone, huh? I honestly figured Ren's was going to be the last. Huh, so I was in a pretty stone like that when you found me too. I feel like a princess in a fairy tale. You kind of were like a little princess, actually. I think this one may actually be different. The other stones had a strange sense of warmth when you held them. Not so for this one. Really? Is it because it has something bad in it? No. Instead of the usual warmth, it seems to have a cool, almost divine feel to it. Almost as if it might contain the goddess herself within. Heh. Sharp as usual. I think I have a feeling who this might be. Yeah, you didn't send your master here. He's too busy indulging in his military uniform fetish. He's here. Who's that? So you decided to show her face again, did you? The priest is still unconscious, I see. What a shame. I was rather surprised to find out that he can only use the Stigma's power against heretics. Even power of that magnitude is meaningless if it's so limited and has such repercussions. I almost pity him. To tell you the truth, I wasn't expecting you to reach this point so quickly. Your final piece is inordinately capable. Oh, might you be referring to me? Thanks to you, I ended up having to make my appearance sooner than I was expecting. I mean, the Lord of Phantasma was the one who gave us Ren. I mean, you'd think they would have seen this coming. I suppose I should have expected no less from the host of Grancell's finest tea party. That's very true. Regardless, I came to fulfill a duty, and fulfill it I shall. Think of that stone as a gift for gathering all the pieces scattered throughout Phantasma. It contains not an additional piece, but a rulebook of sorts that you may find beneficial. A rulebook? That certainly explains why it feels different compared to the others. Could this mean that you're finally ready to face us head-on rather than continuously taunting us? Whether that time comes is entirely up to you. For now, all I will say is this. On the next game board, all of you will find yourselves face to face with a number of trials to overcome. He's escaping again! Wait a damn minute! Is that all you're gonna say? What kind of trials? Heh, a variety in all shapes and sizes. Even I shall be one of them. You? Really now? I eagerly anticipate seeing whether you are able to overcome them all and make it to me. Don't disappoint me now. Oh. It's almost as if he can't help but try to taunt us. He stays just long enough to say something cryptic and then leaves before elaborating every single time. Oh, I just love those types. Is something wrong, Estelle? Oh, it's nothing. Anyway, we might have got nothing but cryptic teasers out of him, but we do have a new sealing stone to unlock. I think we should head back to the garden and get to it. I agree. I'm quite curious as to just what this rulebook is as well. Just like last time, we are unleashing this Stealing Stone right away. The way it glows is pretty different compared to all the other Stealing Stones. You're right, I wonder who's going to appear out of it. Chloe? Is something wrong? No, it's just... the light radiating from it feels somehow nostalgic. Huh? That comes as no surprise. It's her. What? She looks like... I am so glad I can finally communicate with you like this. I wonder how many hundreds of years it's been since I was last able to hold a true conversation. Your Highness, wait. You aren't... are you? It's a pleasure to have the chance to meet one of my own descendants. And allow me to extend a hand of welcome to all of you, visitors to my garden. My name is Celeste. Celeste D. Orslees. And cliffhanger! Yeah, that is my favorite end of chapter cliffhanger because it's just so mean, but also great at the same time. We'll see you in chapter 6 for Celeste explains almost everything. See you all then.